Well, hello. I am live a little bit earlier tonight. Oh, there we go. Maria is here on YouTube. Sherry is here. She is from New Mexico. And Maria from Portland, Oregon. That's so neat. I decided to also go live on TikTok. So I am live tonight on Facebook. I am live on YouTube and on TikTok. Why not? Might as well. All right. Lots of white paint. Ah, Caitlin from Vernon, BC. Welcome, welcome. Cindy is here. Sandy from Chilliwack. Let's see. Maria from Maryland. Welcome, welcome. So excited to be painting again tonight from Las Cruz, New Mexico. Welcome, welcome. Marjorie is here from Kelowna. Pam is here from Louisiana. K-Dog is in the house. Hello, Carson. Welcome, welcome. Who else is here? Texas. Santa Ana, Texas. And that's Diane peeking in from work. Ah, sneaky, sneaky. All right. I'm so excited to be back. It felt like a lifetime. I'm shaking quite a bit today. So we'll see how this painting will turn out, but that's okay. Oh, Pitt Meadows. Hello, hello. That is Claire, I think. It jumps so fast. Megan from Ontario. Isabel from California. Tara from Washington State. It's nice to see the comments from YouTube coming through better tonight than the other day. Patty from Missouri. Brisbane, Australia. Hi, Shell. What time is it there? 6 p.m., 1 p.m., I think, where you are. How am I feeling? I'm good, thank you. Way better than last week. Yeah, I got at one point, I actually went to the pharmacy to go get a COVID test, but I felt really sick, but I knew somehow kind of felt like it wasn't like that. It wasn't the same, but it was pretty bad, like an awful flu. But better this week. It just started really weird with dizziness and shakes and very strange. But I'm good this week. I'm back. I took the week off last week. Hello from Missouri, UK. Oh, it's gone. Sharon, I think. There we go. Welcome, welcome. Nearly 11 a.m. in Australia. There you go. Vancouver is in the house. Welcome. I am from Peru. I live in Georgia. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome, welcome. I am from South Africa and I live in Canada. Portland, Oregon is in the house. Sorry, I missed the name. Idaho, Cheryl is here. Wyoming. It's nice to see where everyone's from. I wish I can say all your names and hello to everyone, but it just goes too fast. We have 118 online. I'm a little early, so we'll just hang out for a minute. Gilda from California. Good to see you. Thank you. Good to see your name. It's so nice to be back. I had an in-person event last night and it's just so relaxing and so nice to see people out participating in events again. I have a big event coming up in May. I've got two big events coming up with. One is it's almost 75 people. The other one's going to be more than 50 people. So that's nice. Normally, my smaller events in the week are between 10 and 20 people, which is still fun. Tennessee is in the house. Chilliwack's in the house. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Brandy. And Alina from California. I saw another California go by. Nice to paint tonight with cold, with a cold best pastime. Yes. Bonjour from Quebec, Henriette. Hello, hello. New York, Akron, I said it wrong. Akron, New York. Vancouver Island. I am going to the island. As I'm talking to you, my messages are coming through. Busy organizing to go to Vancouver Island this weekend. Hello on TikTok. Sorry, I missed that one. Alma from New Brunswick. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to start pouring some paint. I know it's before we can run through the colors again. Happy to see you back, Priya. Let's have a great night. Oh, we're going to have a really good night. This is such a fun painting to do. In the one that's in the membership, this umbrella is white with little black polka dots. So you don't have to do just colors. You can do polka dots. It's so neat. You can do whatever you want to. I make it fairly easy for you. All right, I'm going to pour paint. I'll run through it after 6 again. It's still before 6. So we need black and white. Lots of white paint. You're going to need some blue for in the water here and some black. This is like a gray color. And I'm going to use ultramarine today for that. Not too much, just a little bit. And then little bits of other colors for the umbrellas. Oh my gosh, I haven't done this painting in the longest time. Way too long. I'm pouring purple, red, orange, yellow. Whichever colors you want to. Oh, I see more Vancouver Island. Welcome, welcome. Tennessee. Let's take the banner. We're going to paint and forget about all our stresses. We are going to relax, have some fun. Don't forget to breathe while you're painting. Trinidad. Oh, did I read that right? Colorado. Michelle, welcome, welcome. Hi, Sandra. Hello from Idaho on YouTube. I like YouTube better. Yeah, I find a lot of people find it easier, especially those who put me on their, oops, that's a lot of yellow. I guess I'll have lots of yellow umbrellas. Yeah, YouTube, I find a lot of people find it easier to put it on there on a bigger screen, like their TV. I'm using metallic paints for the first time. Any tips? My only tip for metallic paints is before you start painting, check how, if it's very translucent or opaque. So if it's very translucent and you want a gold, if you're using a gold, then I would paint like maybe a yellow underneath. So when you paint the gold over it, you have a warm gold color. If you have silver, I would do a light gray and then paint the silver on top. If you're using different colors of metallic, I would do the base. So if you're using a blue metallic paint, I would paint blue and then put the metallic on top. And sometimes it's fun to, if you're painting with metallics, that you have green and then go with blue metallic on top. So first check your metallics quickly, maybe just on the side of your canvas to see if it's translucent or not. If you asked the question and I missed it, just ask again. The comments go really fast, so I'm not always, sometimes I miss things. Is it just me, or do you have this CC on? I don't know what a CC is. So, I don't know. Myself, Kelly, and my two lovely granddaughters are here. Hello, Kelly and your lovely granddaughters. Welcome, and thank you for joining. We three from Michigan. Oh, there we go. Ready to watch from my chair. Patricia is here. Welcome, welcome. Enjoy watching. I'll paint tomorrow morning. Have a great evening. Thank you, Sherry. All right. I thought I saw another question, but I must have. If I missed it, just pop it in again. Either myself or someone in our awesome community will answer for you. Paint and date night. I like that, Ruth. Can't wait to paint this tomorrow. It will be there for you. Some people are having horrible weather, so they can't attend today. I was wondering about our wind, but it looks like it's calmed down. It's so sunny and beautiful outside, but very cold. Is closed caption I'm from. I don't see any captions. So sometimes it comes up, but you can turn it off if you don't want it. I think the closed captions are automatically on in my lives now, but it's something that you personally can turn off. I think it's just swiping on the screen or a setting that you can do. All right, are you guys ready? Shall we paint? I'm going to run through colors again. I'm going to talk about the brushes, and then we're going to start painting. I think we have 291 people online. Oh, and I see an angry face. Who's angry? Setting is turned off in the right corner. Oh, there we go. I'm going to bring up that message here. Thank you, Felicity. There you go. That's where you can turn it off. I think you just click on the three dots and then you can turn it off. All right, let's get rid of the banner and back to comments, and then we're going to paint. All right, so choosing your colors. I like using ultramarine blue. It's not as bright as the phthalo blue, so ultramarine, very little with some white, and then I mix up with gray, so some gray up here. It's playing with gray and white and light blue for the water here. I use black to draw out the umbrellas and these little shapes here, so you need black on your palette. And then any colors that you want to use for your umbrellas. So whichever colors you want to use for your umbrellas, you can do that. I have a white one here, purple, yellows, oranges, reds, whatever you want to use. And this is what my palette looked like. Today, I think I don't have enough white paint. I have way too much yellow paint. Maybe I'll do a whole bunch of yellow umbrellas. But the yellow was quite eager to get out of that bottle. So, right, so those are your paints. You're going to need a bigger brush. I think I'm going to use my big Filbert. I have a medium size Filbert and I have a small round. I'm using my bigger handle round. This is a size 1. I'm going to use that one. So you need a round. We're going to draw some umbrellas, and you're going to need this one for the background and a medium-sized brush to add more colors. So that's, I think it looks better like that. Right, if you have flat brushes and you don't have Filberts, it's all good. Whatever you have, we're here to have fun. This is not a formal art lesson. We are here to have fun. I do fun art, not fine art, and I'm working on an, I think this is 11 by 14 stretch canvas. All right, are we ready to start? Ready? Okay, so we're going to start off by drawing out our umbrellas. So normally closer to me, I make them a little bit bigger. I normally have one off to the side here. And then as they go further, I make them a little bit smaller. The perspective is a little off here, but it works for me. I absolutely love doing this painting. Right, so we're going to start off with our small brush. You're going to mix up a light gray, kind of not too light, kind of grayish color. And we're going to use that to draw out our umbrellas. These little outlines are going to show up later in the painting, but they become part of the umbrellas. You're going to paint over them when we start adding the color, but you can still see the outlines on the umbrella a little bit. So I use very little, like a gray color, and I'll show you on my palette again. Just a gray, roll your brush like that. This one might be a little too small, but we'll see how it goes. And then you're going to start drawing out your umbrellas. When I draw them out, very random, I'm going to do one right here. Let's do right there. Round it at the top, like that. Don't overthink. Where do I start? I started right there. I'm going to add some scallops right here. Sometimes I drag one up like that. And then immediately as I draw them, I create, that's the top of the umbrella. And then I create these curved lines that goes towards these little scallops. And then I just add some more. That's not too bad. I'll do another one. Wet my brush, pick up some gray paint. I'm going to do these two next to each other. They're a little higher up. Round it at the top. And it's okay if your umbrellas don't look exactly like mine. Look at that wonky one over there. Can you see it? I'll bring it closer. Look at that big umbrella. They're all a little different. So just have fun. Try not to have too many expectations when you do these. Just take a deep breath, draw them out. Every time I do this painting, my umbrellas look a little bit different. I'm going to do that one over here. This one's got big scallops. And then I do a little tip, curved lines. They don't always match exactly. Barely touching, tip of the brush. Those curved lines make your umbrellas not look flat. So you want them slightly curved. Oh, it's 2:30 in the morning. Didn't realize the time difference watching from Ireland at 2:30 in the morning. Oh, Elaine, I'd be snoring away. So if you're not painting, the video stays on for 24 hours, so you can do it. You can paint in a more decent hour, unless you like painting at 2:30 in the morning. Thank you for all those messages. So just play around. Paint umbrellas wherever you want to. I have just little feet up here. Don't worry about the feet yet. We're not going to do this yet. Just the umbrellas. I'm going to do one up here, like that. Look at this one. I don't have the scallops going in. They kind of go outwards. Like, just play. I'm just going to copy that one. I think it comes to one stage in the painting, it looks like just jellyfish. They become a little weird, but it's all good. Just paint. I want to make these really small. Right off the canvas, if you have a box canvas, wrap your pictures around the side, your little umbrellas. Go right around the edge. Do one that goes right around. And even when we start painting in the bottom one here, go right around the edge. It's so neat when you hang up your paintings and the pictures goes around the edges. I'm just going to do a big line, curved one, like that. This is going to be the center, and then I'm going to do these little curved lines. See how they're curvy? They make your umbrella not look so flat. We're going to paint over that, but you want to place those there. In most cases, my paint is a little see-through, so I'll still be able to see those lines. Well, let's do one here. I'm going to do a round line like that. And then I'm going to go down a little bit like this. So a different view of the umbrella. Maybe go like that. Oh, that's a fun one. There you go. I'm going to add another one up here. And that's going to be it for my umbrellas. How many do I have? Oh, I prefer odd numbers. Anyone else do that? I was thinking I shouldn't count, because if it's not going to be an odd number, I'm going to do another one. I prefer odd numbers. So there we go, 9 little umbrellas. Are you guys breathing? Don't overthink, and don't rush if you're still busy. Take your time. It's all good. It's all good. Haven't seen it on a while. Mary, I'm here every Tuesday, so I'm not doing every Tuesday at 6 p.m. anymore, but every Tuesday I go live. So some days it will be 12:30 in the day, and other times it will be at 6 p.m. When you go to the events tab on my Facebook page, you can subscribe to notifications, so it will let you know. And if you go to YouTube, subscribe to my channel, then you'll also get notifications. Kat is in the house. Hello, Kat. Love this one. Thank you. I love painting this one. It's so much fun. And every time I do it, it looks different. It shows a little of my mood every time I do it. Susan says she's breathing. That's good. Or are you reminding us to breathe? Mai says I can't catch up. Don't catch up. Take your time. So for those who haven't been here before, I guide you step by step, and sometimes people challenge themselves and they really want to keep up with me. Other times, just take your time and paint. I post the video right after. So if you're way behind, if I'm moving into background or painting something else and you're still doing something else, you can just ask questions and we'll answer you. But right after I post the video, so then you can skip back to where you were, and then you can just paint at your own pace, and you can pause the video and yeah, just breathe. I really want to paint this, but I just shifted to a new home, so all my painting stuff is not with me. That's a tough one. I know, I got a message from someone else too today. She says, I'm moving and I was waiting for this one. I'm here. This is my first time I got here late, so I'm just going to watch for tonight. I'm from California. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Yes, just watch. I may do this with a twist. Oh, Kat, I can't wait to see it. Do it with a twist. I've already dipped my brush in my drinking water. There you go, Sandy. That's a wild start. I almost drank paint water last night. That's a little crazy. In front of an audience, in person. All right, are we ready to move on? So if you are ready to move on, type in ready. If I have about 10, we'll move on to the next step. If you are not ready to move on, don't rush. Just take your time, plan out your umbrellas, just relax. It's all good. What is the name of your YouTube channel? It's Zalous Art. Zealous Art. And I think the URL is youtube.com and whatever it is, Zala's Art with Frida. I think Zala's Art was taken. Judy has a solution for us. She says, I only have a covered water bottle now. No time to paint tonight. Can I find the instructions later? Yes, Linda, it stays on Facebook for 24 hours and then it moves to my Paint Night at Home membership. Hello from the Philippines. Welcome, welcome. All right, I see lots of ladies. Let's move on. So if you think drawing umbrellas was fun, you're going to love this. So we're going to paint the these little colors that you see at the bottom here. Don't look at the multiple, like the greens and the blacks. We are just looking at the blues and the grays that you see around here. So we're going to go with our bigger brush. So use your bigger brush, weight your brush, pick up some white paint, push down with your brush into the white, push down like this. I'm going to grab a little bit of that gray so I can have a light gray color, a little bit of blue. You don't want it too much. Blue goes really far, so you don't want too much of that. It's like a grayish, bluish color. Not too dark yet, quite light. Load up your brush, lots of paint. And then I'm going to move my brush in little swishes. I'll do it a little closer so you can see. The brush strokes look like that. And I start moving my brush like this. And you're going to move around these little umbrellas. If you have thick paint on there, maybe wait till it's a little bit drier, but you don't want to move around a lot of paint. If you are picking up some of the paint, kind of blend it into the background. But if it's still really wet, maybe grab a dryer and dry it, but you don't want to move around too much paint. And you're going to go right up to the lines and just paint around it. Some areas are a little bit more gray, that's lighter and darker. This is just the first coat. We're going to play with lots of colors here. I'm going a little bit more gray on this side. Very little paint. Look at that. Very little paint. Get close to my umbrella. Go right in there. Right up to it. And it's okay if you go into it because we're just going to cover it with paint later. I'm picking up more white. Let's go a little lighter in this area. You don't want to go too light. We need the dark for the white to show up. We're going to do white marks on top of this later. So don't go too light, but you want these little patches of darker blues, darker grays, white. Don't forget to breathe. Some areas I have just blue and white, others I add a little bit of the gray with the blue so that it's a grayish blue color. Other areas is just the gray. Thin layer of paint. Don't forget to breathe. See how it's darker blue, a little bit of gray in here, much grayer. This area is much lighter gray. Julie, thank you for all the messages. Love watching. It's so sweet. I do get messages from people that are not ready to paint. Someone has been watching me do these classes since the pandemic. hit us 2 years. Can you believe it's 2 years ago? And she just bought paints. So she calls it, she watches the Frida show. That's so funny. So she's bought paint. So she's going to try. I'm very excited. Some of us jump in and we just do things, and then others need a little bit more time. I love that. We're not always sure if something is for us, right? I love what painting does. I love what it does for myself, and I love what it does for other people. It's just such a great mindfulness activity. I feel like I say it every week, but it really is. How's everyone doing with the background? Can you guys see how I'm playing here? I'm a little slower tonight, I think. Don't forget to go around your edges too. I don't do a lot of the edges on my live because I keep picking it up and it gets messy. I think I'm going to go a little bit more gray up here. Just cover the whole canvas. Sometimes I go right into the umbrella, and other times I just stop right next to it. You can see some of the lines I've covered in paint, which is all good. We're going to paint in all those colors anyway. I think that's good. See all the colors? A little bit more gray. This is a little lighter. Maybe I want a little bit more blue there. Let's play with a little bit more blue. Much lighter in that area. I'm never going to stop. Put the brush down, Frida. Your brush isn't heavy with paint. No, it's when I started off, I really loaded up. And then as I work through it, sometimes I work with the tip of the brush. So I'll push down. So when you push down, you spread a lot of paint on the brush. And then I go to the tip of the brush where I just move all that paint that I just pushed down around. So you'll see the layers are quite thin, but I do try and cover the canvas quite a bit. So you can still see the texture of the canvas. But not a lot of paint. I don't paint with a lot of paint. Are you using acrylics? Yes, Marlene, I paint with acrylics. Even if you can't paint each time. I just love watching and hearing your voice. Thank you, Julie. I've never been a painter, but I have done some awesome pieces with you. Oh, that's awesome. Fibrous keeps coming out of my brush onto the canvas. So Sandy, what I sometimes do is I paint and I just keep painting. So you can wipe it on your cloth a little bit to get some of the hair out. But if it's dry, a little bit drier, you'll be able to just flick off the hair if your paint is not too thick. So if you have really thick paint and the hair sits in it, it might be hard to get it off. But if you're doing light brush strokes, it will the little bits of hair will flick off your canvas. More of a dry brush, yes, in a way, but you still want to make sure that you cover the canvas good. That's beautiful colors. Thank you. Don't that type of brush. You can still do this with a flat brush too. If you don't have the filbert brush, you can still do this with a flat brush like that. Just move in motions like that. hold it flat, and keep moving it like that. And Rhonda is reminding us to take a deep breath. So it's not completely dry yet. Here and there I can see it's still wet, but now I'm going to use the same brush and pick up some white paint. And on top of these little bits, I'm going to do little shapes like that. So I keep doing little shapes, little highlights on top of the white like that. So everywhere, we just create these little marks. And you can see how fast I'm not overthinking it. Sometimes they'll be a little bit bigger, but I just create that everywhere on the canvas. So a little bit of white paint on my brush. Put your brush down and just move it around like that. So when I pick up paint like this. See how little paint there is? Push down with it so I don't have thick. You're not scooping paint. You don't want that on your brush. So pick it up, push down with the brush like that. And then I create all those little marks everywhere. Kind of, I don't know, maybe they're reflections. I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. I think this painting is probably 7 or 8 years old. I don't know. Just when I opened my studio. So that would be 2 plus 4, 6.5, 7 years old. It's like, what on earth is that, Frida? It comes together. I don't know if you noticed those marks on the original. Sometimes people don't see it. Can you guys see it in there? Don't look at the colors, just see the white little marks on it. Lots of them. So at first it's just the flat color, and then you go back and you make these little marks. How are you guys doing? Are you breathing? Yes, a flat will give you a different effect, but that's why I always at the beginning say no expectations. Just go with it. Let's see what happens. Let it be an adventure of discovery. Oh, I love the waves. I like that it looks like waves. I think that's possibly why it starts looking like jellyfish. I always, when I did this painting, people say, oh, it kind of looks like jellyfish. Sandy, you gotta breathe. She says she's not breathing. I waited all day and I got the time zone wrong. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Rhonda. Remember to breathe. Don't forget to breathe, Amora. Can you show the little waves again? So I'll show up close so you can see what it looks like on this one. See these little white marks? Oh, there we go. See what they look like there. And over here you can see them too. And then when you make them on your canvas, you're taking your brush flat like this and you're just kind of pushing down with the brush, little movements like that. So you can see what it looks like there. Hope that works. But if you have a bigger brush, you'll have bigger marks. If you have a smaller brush, you'll have smaller marks. Each one is different, but you want that little highlights on top. They eventually turn out to look a little bit more like a reflection, especially when we start adding in more color and the black little marks in between. That background is so good. Thank you. You make it look so easy and fun. Linda, it is. Are you painting with? Howdy from cloudy Oklahoma, USA. Hello, Deb. Oh, it's very sunny today here. It was very cloudy last week and yesterday. So therapeutic to watch. I'm going to try this tomorrow. Elaine, yes. That's awesome. Are you all right? Yes, I am, Stephanie. Thank you so much. Much better than last week. Oh, Bella. The best way to figure out the time zone is, that's why I started entering in the name, say Vancouver, BC time. You can just Google what time is it by me when it's 6 p.m. at Vancouver, BC, or 12:30 p.m. in Vancouver, BC. So then your Google will give you your the correct time. I have so many people ask me, so I quickly sit and Google it and send it to them. But the easiest way is to just ask on Google, what time is it by me when it is 6 p.m. in Vancouver, BC? I'll have to teach Google so you can say, what time is it by me when it's 6 p.m. where Frida is? Hi, Jill and Kai. Welcome, welcome. Greetings from Quebec. Welcome. In the 19th by Friday. I'll do this outside. San Diego, yay. All right, how's everyone doing? Are we ready to move on? Shall we start adding some colors to those umbrellas? Hi from Ontario. Is the background ultramarine white and a bit of black or burnt umber? This time I have black. I have done it with burnt umber and it gives it a really neat, moody kind of feel to it. So you can use burnt umber too if you want to. So this time it is black and white, and that's what my palette looks like. So I played with the black and white and the ultramarine blue. But burnt umber is beautiful if you want to try it, Stephanie. Oh, sorry, Alison. I'm in Australia, and I added into my Google Calendar for Facebook, and it tells me the correct time. Yay! See? And if your location setting is correct on Facebook, it should display your actual time. So my messages that I type out would still read 6 p.m., but Facebook should give you the right time. I'm glad this is working for you, Stephanie. Relaxation therapy. All right, are we ready? I see a few readies. Maybe a few more. I just see 3 or 4, and then we'll move on. So let's say another 3 or 4 readies, and then we can move on. So you got to think about how you want to do the colors. And I do the colors this way. I go around and I place some colors in the umbrellas. The first coat is just a base coat. And then the second coat that I do, I add, if I'm doing the green, I used a little bit of black to add some shadows. With the yellow, I might go do a second coat of yellow and maybe add some white for some highlights. So I'll play with 2 colors. Sometimes on my purple umbrellas, I'll use a little bit of blue. So, oh, look at all that. Lots of messages. So I'm going to start off with some yellow, and you'll see that the yellow paint's a little see-through. So I'm going to add a little white to it. So using my medium-sized brush, with my brush, a little bit of white. I'm going to grab some yellow. I want to make this big one down here. It's not that big, but I want to make this one all yellow. And I'm going to cover those black lines, and you'll see that a little bit of those lines are going to come through, which is okay because I need those outlines. Nothing fancy, just a flat yellow color. And that's what it looks like. See how the color is coming through? Don't let that bug you. We need those lines. They give our umbrella a little bit of an outline, and we need that for when we're going to do all this black that you see around. I'm going to do another yellow because I have so much yellow paint. Let's do a yellow umbrella over here, and maybe that top one on the other side there. This is just your base coat, first coat. Oh, look at that. I wrapped it around the edge. Nothing fancy. There's my yellow umbrellas. Do I need another one? Choose your colors. I'm going to mix up a little bit of a, let's go for orange. Adding a little yellow to it for a bright orange. See how I'm changing up all the colors, and go right up to your lines to cover everything. If your paint is covering your lines, it's all good. You can paint them back in. And drag my brush in the direction of what the what these little shapes are. So push it down like that. See how the lines are coming through? Don't forget to breathe. I love this message on TikTok. It says, hello, girl version of Bob Ross. Hello there. Yellow with a little green for line color umbrella, using up some of your yellow. I like that, Rhonda. I was just thinking I need some green on here. I just got home from a local paint party. Oh, that's so cool. Now you can have one at home too. It's like a double party. Let's see if this gives me a good green. I might have to use phthalo blue. Oh, definitely. Ultramarine doesn't give me a nice blue. It's great for landscape painting, the green that it makes with this bright yellow, but phthalo blue gives me a nice green. Let's go for a light green. I like that idea. What paintbrush are you using for your umbrellas? This is my Filbert, and this is a size, oh, I can't see, size 10 it says. How's that? Beautiful green color. See how different my colors for this painting versus that one? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this one white with black polka dots. So even when I have items that are white on my canvases, I still paint it in even if the canvas is white, because I like the texture of the paint. Just choose your colors, nothing fancy. Just a flat color. I think I need a pink umbrella. I'm very pastel-y today. Much lighter colors. And that's my umbrellas. First coat is done. So while you're painting that, I'm just going to talk about the next thing that I do. I'm going to go with a smaller brush, and I'm just going to add little bits of highlights or shadows to the umbrellas. So while it's still a little bit wet, I like working on them so the color can blend in a little. So on some of them, I do some highlights. So I picked up a little bit of white, very little. And then right in the middle here, I'll just add a little bit of white, just to make that area a little bit lighter. Just in the middle, like that. So that's more of a little highlight to it. Not too much. Even the yellow is still coming a little bit through. Up here. The green one, I'm going to add some shadows to it. So I'm going with a darker green. And I'm going to play right on my lines with a darker green. Just rubbing the paint around the edges here. Maybe at the bottom a little bit. So they're not one flat color. A little bit of green. On my the orange one, I'm going to play with a little bit of red and orange. Maybe some red at the bottom here. I use my finger to blend a little bit. I just don't want them to be a flat color. You'll see on this one, on the green, I actually went in with a little bit of black. That one has lots of white. It's got a darker color here. There's lots of patches on this one. So you just don't want them to be just a flat color. You do the first coat and then go play with another color on top. This one I'll do another coat. Will just appear a little bit darker. Almost looks like a pumpkin now. Are you guys breathing? pink or red umbrella, whichever color you want to. I have a pink one over here. I think I'm going to give it some white highlights so that it's even lighter. So as the water falls on top of the umbrella, you can also add some white highlights on top. Tip of the brush, small brush, just some white highlights. So do some shading and then add some white on top of the umbrellas. This one is really wild with all the white that you see. That one, oh, that one doesn't have white. This one doesn't have, but I like the white on top of the umbrellas. Pouring down. Hi, Patricia. Oh, in the meantime, I'm going to do my little polka dots on this one. So just a little bit of black paint. And do a few polka dots on this one. So I like using the back end of the brush to do dots on my paintings to go in, but I don't want this to be too textured. So I'm using the bristles and just making these little marks on top of the umbrella. I'm also going to start painting in the top of the umbrella with the little black outlines. Don't rush if you're not there. Take your time with your polka dot umbrella. I'll give you a minute and then we can do the outlines. You guys breathing? I love the polka dots. It's so cute. I love doing polka dots. Hello from soggy Atlanta. You know, I will have to try this one tomorrow. Well, there you go. To go with your weather. Very rainy here in Emmen. With a little bit of snow, we'll need to use these umbrellas I'm painting. When does your snow normally stop? When how long do you still have to put up with the snow? These polka dots are precious, right? They are so fun to do. You guys breathing? Wow, Becky says snow in April, possibly May. We immigrated 13 years ago and we landed on the 22nd or the 21st of March. And we were here about a week or two, and we had snow. And I didn't realize back then, I think we missed a really big dump of snow. And then the next year, there wasn't much snow. And then the year after, it also snowed into April. But I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think we're done. And we didn't have much snow the last few weeks. Bad slow spring right now. Oh, yeah, I'm breathing. I'm good to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. All right, so while you are still busy painting and playing away with your umbrellas, we're going to do these little tips on top of the umbrellas. Now we're doing them in black. We painted them in earlier, and you can still see them there. But you're now going to paint them in black. And then I also do the outline at the bottom of my umbrellas with black and take the lines up a little bit. So if you have a heavy hand and you really struggle with thin lines, what I suggest you do is more like a sweep with your brush, a little bit of a, and maybe put your pinky down like this and hold your brush like that. So your hand is down, so you have a little bit more control. And you can practice that maybe on your palette. So you can have your hand down, put your brush down, and instead of dragging, you rather do a little bit more of a swipe with your brush, because that's about the line, as much line as you need. So you don't need big, thick lines, just a little bit of a shadow at the bottom of your umbrellas, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to give this one a black outline. So see how messy it looks at the bottom? So this black outline is kind of going to bring it all together. Look at that. Kind of forget that it was messy a second ago. And to help your paint flow a little easier, a little bit of water to thin out your black paint helps too. And now I'm going to put my brush down, and I'm just going to do a little flick with my brush. So you put it down and you just do a little flick. Try and keep that little curve in it. At the top, barely touching the top here, and then I add just shorter little lines in like that. This black and white one should look good. A little bit of water with my black paint just to thin it out. My tiny brush. This one has a stray hair there, but make sure I fill the whole brush with paint. Do my little shapes at the bottom. Like that. Little tip at the top, and then like that. And then here I'll take it up a little bit just to create some shadows. Fun, isn't it? Just like that. Becky says she's done with the snow. Hi, Ron and Debbie in Chicago. Are you guys painting with us tonight? I'm doing this one. A little bit of an outline, tip at the top, and then I do these little shapes. This one I'm going to go a little bit thinner. Oh, am I? Will the hand allow it? I'm still amazed that I can feel how I'm shaking, but when I do the lines, they're not very, you don't see the tremor in all the lines. here and there I can pick them up, but love it. So excited. Love painting. It's so relaxing and fun. Yes, it is. A lot of people can't meditate, or they're not interested in meditating, or they're not able to go for walks, or they're painting is just such a great way to take your mind off things. You can kind of leave without going anywhere. It's a change of scenery, but you're actually just right there where you are. Oh, I love this one. He's so different. Oh, let's do this one. Not much to do here. Just gonna do a top like that. If they are further away from you, I would go with more like a charcoal color. So they don't have to be very black. You can go a little bit lighter. If you find the black is just too dark, then go with more a charcoal or a gray kind of color. That is my umbrellas. I'll have to do, look at all this paint. I'll have to do another painting right after. I think so. I'll just spend the night painting. Can't wait to paint this, especially after the storm coming through tonight. Well, there you go. You can match it up with the storm and come share with us. I love learning from you. You always take time for us to get it. It's awesome, Becky. Thank you for the feedback. I love the polka dots, right? And it just pops in the middle of the painting. It's just, I might do a full outline on it. I need it to stand out a little bit more. I'll think about it while it's there. We're almost there. It's already 7 p.m. I just joined, but you finished. Will the whole video be available? Yes, it is, Patricia. I'll post it in about 10 minutes. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is paint in the little bodies, and you'll see they're just these tall upside down triangles. Can a triangle be upside down? I'm not sure, but I normally just start off. So still my small brush, and you're going to round about in the middle, drag a line down, and it's normally round about the same length as your umbrella that I do it down to the bottom. And then I just make it a little bit wider at the top and bring it together at the bottom. So that's kind of what you're doing. And then paint it all black. And then wherever they are standing, I do a little squiggle with the brush. So hold it a little further back, and I just go like that. Little reflection. So this one down the middle, line down, round about the same length going down as what it was up, and then bring those little marks. Oh, that's a bigger guy. Make it all black. When you're painting from this side, you'd always know how big you go. And then at the bottom, I just do that. Don't forget to breathe. Drag it down. It's a little lopsided, but I like it. Isn't that neat? Look at them walking in the rain. They're on their way to a paint party. You need a little water. If you're running out of paint, when you're using a small brush like that, just thin out a paint with a little bit of water. Just make sure when you're thinning it out, the paint with water, when you look at it and you see a drop there, if your canvas is up like that and you put it down, it's going to run down your canvas. So you don't want that. So just make sure you don't pick up too much water with your black paint. Look at them. I feel like this little guy is going to go around the corner here. And then you can, depending on your painting, you can add little shadows or little people, just their feet. Give yourself a bigger crowd, just their little feet at the top there, if you want to. Sometimes I sit back and I realize I have a lot of space, then I'll just add a whole person right there, another umbrella, paint it right on top. It's your canvas, you can do whatever you want to. I also use the same small brush and add little lines, not too many, maybe 3 or 4 down here, like little shadows. Not too many. They're smaller up here, really small, but just part of the reflection. Little lines, maybe slightly curved. They look like that. And then whatever the color of your umbrella is, you do those little brush strokes. Same as you did with the big brush. They are little curved lines. I was much bolder on this painting than I am on this one. I had a more relaxing day, I think that's why. And that's how you add your little reflections. I'm going to do a little yellow under that one. Make sure you give your brush a good wash. Still the small brush. Some pink over here. I did this painting at a church here in Clayton, and our youngest guest, I think, was 7, and the oldest was 87. I can't remember. And these two had the biggest competition. It was the sweetest thing to see. But the young girl painted rain all over. It was so fun. On this one, I think I'm just going to do white. Just extra white. It was fun to see how different everyone's painting. Someone did it just in black and whites, so all grays, and then black and white highlights, and then all yellow umbrellas. So you can really do whatever you want to with colors and play. Just little brush strokes. And if you're doing this and you go, oh shoot, I've got too many little reflections underneath, let it dry and then mix the background color and then just cover some of it up. You can just do that. You can also add some white in here, some white highlights, extra white ones. So instead of these big ones, like smaller white ones, it also helps with the look of the reflections. Here, I added some white in here. You can do that underneath too. And that, my friends, is our painting for tonight. I can't wait to see your paintings. If you haven't been here before, I take a selfie right here and I go post it on my Facebook page. So if you painted along, please come and share your paintings. It's really neat to see everyone's version of this painting. And then I'll be back next week, Tuesday, and It will be a 6 p.m. class again. On the 19th will be 12:30 in the day. So next week I'm back at 6 p.m. Am I in Clayton? No, I actually live in Cloverdale, Patricia. But I do a lot of events. Every Monday night I'm at the Clayton Public House. So I do a lot of events there. I did see some other messages, so I just want to go back. Oh, it's 10 p.m. in Indiana. I'm a college student, so I'm done doing homework, but I'm definitely painting this tomorrow. Well, there you go, Bethany. This is such a great break from the books, right? Being a college student, you need those good breaks. I appreciate teachers. It's inspirational. Oh, thank you. Christine, what did she say? I'm having fun watching you painting demo. I started painting using watercolors, but Fran gifted me a set of acrylic paints. Yes. Completed in a canvas. It's time for me to start with them. Yes, and I do have a few videos still on my Facebook group. If you're in my Facebook, group, it's easier to find the videos under the guides section. So if you haven't joined my group, go join the group, and you can find a few videos there that will help you get started with acrylic paints. Thank you, thank you. I will be painting tomorrow. Appreciate you. You are most welcome. And thank you. I think if I see messages without any comments, I think it's people that are sending me stars. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Stars is a way for you to contribute to me for offering these. Another way that you can do it is I will post a PayPal link for anyone that wants to do tips. You really don't have to, but I know sometimes I get messages from people that want to support me. So here I am. How can I get your schedule in Clayton? zalisart.com/events. But if you go to the events tab on my Facebook page, you can find it there too. All right. So have a good night, everyone. I will see you next week. Look out for my selfie. I'd love to see your paintings. Good night.